Hey everybody, I'm Grandmaster Joel Benjamin. Welcome to ICC's Banter Blitz, our little monthly get together, and should be fun as always. I'm a little bit tired today. It's 10 o'clock on the East Coast, and I've been up since 5:30. 'Cause I drove my friend to the airport this morning, um, so I haven't had that much sleep. Good opportunity for you guys to get me like when I was jet lagged the first few rounds and at the World Senior, get me now before I build up my strength. So everyone line up. All right, here we go. Aslan 777, and he's been online for, I mean, he's been in the queue for like 10 minutes, so I know he's chomping at the bit to get a game. So here we go. So I'm playing a little English here. The English gave us a run for our money in the World Senior. G6. I think against knight f3, this move order is. Some people think it might be slightly dubious because of d4. And against g3, you can play it, but against knight f3, and but it's a game, but I think it's supposed to be more pleasant for white. Something a little different. I'm always looking for something a little different, not to play the same stuff all the time and try to pound anybody with opening theory. That's not very sporty. But maybe I might play a little bit more conventionally today than I have in some of the games, some of the weeks. I've taken some liberties. Like the d3 and queen d2. That might have been the biggest liberty month of them all. That was my salute to Fabiano because he won a game with the queen d8 to d7 move. All right, so I'm not so sure about these pawn movements. All right, I'm just gonna throw my queen out there. I'm not really that sure about that move either, because sometimes the knight wants to go to a4 when this is a weak c5 square. But I was thinking I keep the bishop from going to a6 in any spots, and also I want to get a rook to d1 very fast. So yeah, once I get some real good pressure there to the point of him preventing him from moving. But I think he just made a mistake here because he's walked into this line queen on queen, and if I take on d5, looks to me like something is going to drop. Well, I mean, he could possibly get something back, but certainly good for me. I mean, I could also wait, but maybe black can correct his mistake with something. All right, took us, and took us. Seems like I have to be winning a pawn out of this. I took a pawn, attack his rook, and I can take a pawn, but I don't necessarily need to let him activate his rook. So I'm just going to play this very modest move here. Just rook b1, just keeping his rook from getting the 7th rank, because I'm attacking this pawn on c7, and I think I can just take this pawn on c7, and I have an extra pawn and the bishop pair. Also, rook b1 was not bad. And I think I'll just retreat. Again, I can play rook b1 in that position. Trading a bishop doesn't hurt me too much. He could try to put a rook on the 7th rank. And I'm going to actually give up the long diagonal because I kind of like bishop on b3 keeps rook out of c2, and also I have some definite ideas of maybe attacking f7. Next move maybe rook b1. I don't really want to play e3, but I don't want to give up that pawn either, so just defend it for now. Oh, I could have played rook b1, rook takes e2, king f1. Those little cool tactics, you know. I could have avoided the move e3, but it's not really that big a deal. Or maybe it is, because now he has an idea to come into d2. However, I think he runs into problems if he does that, so I'll go rook b1. I always have the rook d1 move to offer a trade, but if he plays rook d2, I think he's going to lose his bishop after e4. Yeah, I think now I chase his rook away, and I don't think he has a way of holding onto his bishop. Also, he's running out of time, but so I had a kind of a fancy way of the trick. You know, when he played rook e8, I could have played rook b1 with the same idea, and this is winning a piece. So that game went pretty smoothly. It was, yeah, the queen d7. After that, it was very routine. Unfortunate move, queen d7. All right, thanks, Aslan777. Appreciate your enthusiasm and getting in there first. And okay, we're starting to see some people queuing up. So that's a good sign. Mish Bobby. So is that like a combination of Tal and Fisher? Mish Bobby? Possibly. E3. Wow, that's not a very vigorous answer to my c5 move, but you know, that's how people play chess a lot these days. Even grandmasters, there's a lot of games pumped into these quiet d4 systems, because the grandmasters are finding more and more that in the main lines it's very hard to prove any kind of advantage. So they just sort of have kind of reverted to playing, you know, a little bit like you know, like a lot of club players do, and just, you know, just getting their pieces out and worrying about things later. But this system against the fianchetto is, I guess, a little unusual. I mean, it's a Kali system, but usually against the fianchetto, white would have tried to put the bishop out to g5 or f4. I'm not really sure, you know, how he's going to follow this up. Or sometimes white plays this kind of setup with a pawn on e4, which he could move the pawn d4, but of course then he's tempo down. All right, let's go for extendo fianchetto, or fianchetto. Right, but I was kind of ready for that. That's why I extendoed, because I want to go. Should I go knight b4? I can also just attack the pawn on d4, see where his knight goes. No, I think I'll go knight b4. Now, from a grandmaster point of view, the move bishop b1 is kind of automatic, but lower-rated players don't always, you know, have the same feelings about the bishops. Okay, so see, c8. Trying to build some pressure in there. A3. I mean, he had interesting move queen A4. I think I would play knight D3, and certainly I thought it was going to be okay. Now the knight is a little stuck because of the E4 pawn, for the moment anyway. So I guess he could try to chase my bishop out. But he has to develop the bishop on C1, and then the knight on D2 has to move for that. It's kind of cumbersome. But this is going to cost him a pawn. And it's not nailed down, so I'm taking it. That's a good pawn to get, because that also kills the dynamics of his center. He had those two pawns together. Now he just has an isolated pawn in the middle. And I have the bishop pair. Right? Knight E3. And what? Activate my queen. Connect my rooks. Maybe my queen will venture out to B5. G4, okay. I was actually contemplating bishop C2 there for a moment, forgetting he had just brought his knight to E3 to cover that. Like I said, I'm a little bit tired today. So one thing I might do in this position is maybe just double rooks on the C file. Just kind of wait for things to happen. Queen B3. Okay, not double so quickly. But you know what? I think now I'll just hit this knight, because if it goes back to F3, probably it will take it. As much as I as I hate to give up this bishop, I think that weakness is going to really hurt him. All right, let's go in. I mean, fairly legitimate chance that he could get mated. Knight F1. Well, I always like to see passive responses. That's good. That's good. Okay. E6. Now we have the D5 square. Maybe I'll put my knight on D5. Open up my bishop on G7 to attack D4. Well, that's what I'll do for now. And then maybe I'll try to harass that knight on G3 with some H5 movement. All right, because now if his knight moves, F3 is hanging. Also, Mishbabi is about to run out of time. Something I always enjoy. Knight E2, like running away from my threat to attack it, but now that's what I want, right? I just take. It's a bit of a panic move, which, to be fair, happens when you're down to 20 seconds in a not very good position. Yeah, you're welcome, Mishbabi. All right, so that game went smoothly enough. There's a fine line between playing solidly and playing passively. And the first few moves were solid for white, but he didn't get his pieces out, and so that was kind of tricky to play. All right, who do we got? Zaitat. Not to be confused with Zaitnot. Are you Zaitat or are you Zaitnot? E5. Wow, interesting. I remember playing this years ago against Tony Miles in, believe it or not, a U.S. zonal spot qualifying playoff because Tony Miles was inexplicably American at that point in time. And I remember he played knight c2, and things did not go well for me. So I don't know about this position for black because, I've got a good grip on the d5 square. I'm not sure what his compensation is for it. And, probably I'm thinking about now taking this knight and maybe dropping a knight to d5. But of course, he played bishop d7, so it meant he couldn't take with the bishop. All right. Well, possibly he wants to move that rook to h6. I think very unlikely he's going to rustle up a mating attack there, but he's welcome to try it if he wants. And I don't know, for some reason I kind of like this move. I'm not really sure why, but maybe give him something to think about at some point. I might play f takes e5 at some awkward moment. Knight on c2 is not really playing yet, so I have to kind of figure that out, but not necessarily right away. Maybe just bring rooks, put a rook on the d file. Just kind of hang out, wait for something to come up. I find very often these kinds of positions are won by just, just sort of waiting for an opportunity and seeing your opponent, make some mistake. Like in the first game, I played queen a4, and then after queen d7, I was just winning. So black has to make all these moves and make sure not to hang anything. Also, very good blitz strategy to just play solid moves relatively quickly. I think I might have read that in Maxime Dulugui's blitz chess articles. He's got a blitz chess column in New in Chess magazine now. Okay, good if you if you can get it. People need to know how to play blitz. All right, so he's got some ideas playing queen h4, and I don't know. I'm just going to play g3. I don't know that I really need this, but just prevent him from playing queen h4. I don't know if that's really a good move, but okay. So now he's he's got some ideas of h5 perhaps, but right now I've got that covered. Okay, so I'm going to ignore for the moment h5. I just take it. Now he might want queen h4, but I don't know if that's really helping him. Yeah, okay, it threatens perpetual check, but it's pretty easy to stop that. Okay, I guess he got his queen sort of in attacking position, but I have a feeling that it could backfire on him, and now he's got to defend against knight c7, I think, which he, I guess, sort of did there. And d4. I don't know, just to see if he hangs his queen. Okay, he ran away, and now what? Now maybe some expeditions over on this side. 97. All right, he's hanging tough. Okay, let's just trade and dump. Trade and dump. See, the thing is, I think his rook and queen are going to be kept offside. I've got one piece over there, rook g2, covering, but he's got two pieces over there, and I think that could leave him vulnerable on the queen side. So I don't know. Maybe he's thinking about bishop h4, but I don't really see any attack over there. So you should probably just put the bishop back on f8. Well, this allows me to take something. And I think I don't see why I shouldn't take it. See, sometimes things look very defended, but if you start to consider some trading possibilities, suddenly they're not defended, just like that pawn on d6. Okay, let's see. Can I go and get something here? I mean, his rook and queen all the way on the other side of the board. He can't really do anything about my rampaging queen. Okay, he's trying to bring his rook back to civilization. Maybe queen c7 was a touch more accurate. All right, no problem. I'll do it now. He's running out of time. Oh, if he doubles, I'm going to take his rook. That's a nice little tactic. Oh, bishop h. Oh no, his rook is hanging. That's like when you start to see the countdown, like when you see the points, the decimal point. That's always unnerving when your time is ticking down. All right, thank you, Zaitat. Well challenged. I discovered a bit of a guilty pleasure last night. My son put on YouTube on the television, which we can do, and he tuned to the ICC TV, and we watched old videos of Banter Blitz. So I was watching myself playing on TV. It's kind of cool. All right, this is Manas. Maybe we even watched me playing him, come to think of it. This looks familiar. Did we play this 3 years ago? I think I just watched this on TV. I might have just watched this on TV. How about that? Yeah, this is looking kind of familiar. Okay, I remember a game with e5. All right, so I'm going to take on e4. And so, I mean, it's not necessarily great for black, but he either has to kind of lose that duo of pawns in the center with knight takes, or the other way, pawn takes, knight trade, and maybe that shakes something up. But okay, so I could play knight e7, actually. The pawn isn't hanging, but I think I once played a tournament game like this. Just put my knight on h6. Could come to f5. Castles. Bishop e3, I think I'll hit that bishop with the knight, and I think the pawn will be defended tactically. Because he's got that open diagonal to his king. Oh, okay, well, I think that is a very clear indication for me to get my I meant to say invitation to get my knight off of the rim before he plays g4. So I go for centralize. That is interesting. I'm not sure exactly how he wants to defend this pawn. Well, I'm slightly concerned about moving my b pawn, so I'm going to try this, a little experimental. Maybe develop my rook on a7. It's kind of interesting watching these old games on the video and trying to predict what I was going to do. I mean, sometimes I actually kind of recognize the positions and had an idea, but sometimes I say like, oh, Yeah, I would have done this. And it's just sometimes your brain is just firing at different times and comes up with different ideas. All right, so I guess I'm going to dunk a knight to d4. I could have already done it. One thing is, if he puts his bishop on b2, he's a little less likely to want to play c3 because he's blocking the diagonal, but there's no other way to get it. Oh, ooh, I don't know about that. I think that was a bad combination of moves there. I think queen d4 check. What's he going to do about this? That was unfortunate. Knight e5. Wasn't any need for that. I mean, combined with b3, it looks like it's just going to be a rook. Or, okay, he wants to play bishop e3. Give me a bishop, even better. Yep, that was unfortunate. Don't see any Kopensatz. Queen f2. For some reason, I missed this move because now he can try to move the bishop, but I still don't really see what he can do with the bishop. Oh, yeah, I'm not looking that hard, but I don't see what he can. I can't imagine that he can really do. Yeah, okay. So my queen is sort of trapped now, but I don't think it's could be a permanent thing. What if I just jump on the d3 pawn, and all my pieces are protected, so there's nothing his bishop can hit that is loose. So I don't see much he can do here. I guess he could try to attack my knight with g4, but I don't think it really changes anything. All right. Which rook? I'm going to use this one, I think. I mean, there's like vague knight of 6 check ideas, but there's just no mate there. And I'm prepared to just take on d3. Even on g4, maybe just take on d3. I'll have a lot of extra material. And Manas is also running out of time. Oh, I see he had a little bit of idea knight f2 to defend the pawn, but the problem is that g3 would hang. So that wasn't all that effective. Okay, so, all right. I see. This is tricky because now he's really threatening to move the bishop. But one problem for him is, I mean, I took a rook, so even if he gets my queen, all right, I think I could just let him have my queen, because I already took a rook. I'm still gonna be ahead in material. Oh, okay. Well, he's trying to avoid that. But also, he has no time, which is going to be try to figure this position out with no time. Yeah. Okay. But now I'm just going to do this, and I'm going to take his knight. This is the problem. Yeah, I mean, he had some vague ideas of trapping my queen, but I just had too much time to organize a defense that there was really no chance it was going to work out well enough for him. But he continues. Okay, I take another pawn, and I take another pawn. I'm fearless. I mean, what can go wrong? You've got all of this, and I take another pawn, set up discovery. He's still going. Okay, I'll just tuck that over there. And I'll tuck this here. Oh, he ran out of time. I was confused because I saw him move, and then the game ended. I thought, like, did you really move and resign? But he actually ran out of time. He's about to get mated anyway. All right, thank you, Manus. Rivertail. Oh, okay. This is a player with a serious rating, so all right. I actually had this position at a simul the other day, strangely enough. Kind of funny. Although he's already played differently than the moves I made. All right, let's do it this way. Hmm. All right, you can do whatever you want with that knight. I don't care. So I don't know. I'm making a lot of flaky maneuvers. I have to admit. Not done. Yeah, not done an impressive job because I can't really. I'm not really in a position to trade the bishops, but I'm going to try anyway. I should have perhaps not been so cavalier about that knight coming in to c4. It's a bit of a problem there about my d6 pawn, admittedly. Uh, also my rook. Hmm. Yeah, I got some problems on that B file, I have to admit. But, well, if he gives me a moment to play knight d7, knight c5, I'm good. But his little dilemma, if I play knight d7, what do I do about my rook? How do I ever get my rook out? All right, so I'm just going to throw my bishop out there. It's not very safe, admit. All right, my bishop is not safe there, but I don't know. I just had to get it out of there, I think. All right, and now I have to let some stuff go. To let some stuff go, and so let some stuff go. Not exactly as I drew it up. A little bit on the desperate side, no question. Ah, okay. I got him defending. Woohoo. Let's see, does that add something over there? G3, queen G5. What's happening? King H1. Yeah, well, I guess I'm in it. I guess I have to keep going. Yeah, this is not looking great. Knight D1, he's backing up. Can I do anything with that? Probably not. But all right, let's go forward. Ooh, I just hurt my foot. Ouch. Okay, now let's try to switch over here really fast. Just played a little bit too confidently. Knight F5. So I'm getting down to 20 seconds, so I'm seeing that red flashing, which I always hate. I suppose it's probably a way to turn it off, but I find it so disconcerting. I don't know why anybody would want that. I think this is to trade queens. Queen G4, kind of clever. This is falling apart, to be fair. He didn't have that defended. Ooh, what was that? Oh, suddenly it's what is it, like taunting me? You know, like what do I do now? Suddenly I'm ahead material. This, I don't know what to do. Ah, how do I stop these pawns? Ah, you're kidding me. I got forked. How did that happen? Can I still draw? Maybe I can still draw. I think I can still draw. No, can I win now? Now I can win. Oh, slimy. Oh my goodness. Oh no, I'm losing anyway. Oh my God. Whereas, I mean, this might be a fortress. I don't know. I think it's a fortress. Unless it could get Zugzwang, possibly. Oh, he overs the draw, yes. Whew. What a crazy game. I mean, totally lost, and I think he forgot he'd blocked his bishop. He gave up his rook, but even then, it was still crazy. And yeah, I thought it had gone back and forth a couple of times there. Oof. Oof. I was not prepared for that kind of excitement. But I guess it's like, never give up. Never give up. All right, so I got some more people in the queue. Who will be next? Yeah, my interpretation of the check Benoni, I guess, left something to be desired now. So now we have Zealand, which might make you think of New Zealand, except he's got a USA flag. G6. All right. So a little bit of a dilemma for Black about how to develop. He could take the knight. Sometimes people even just play d6 and don't worry about white taking on c6. But, hmm. So now this is about developing the bishop, I think. Maybe sometimes people even just sacrifice the pawn on b7, but here he's provoking e4 to block the diagonal. So kind of a central part of White's idea is to play knight d5, which he really is walking into that there. Well, let me just put my rook on the same file as his queen. That's always a good start. At the very least, looks threatening. Yeah, his queen is definitely not real well placed on c7. But the bishop on d2 also anticipates the development to a5. Okay. All right. Just safeguard the b pawn for the moment. Sometimes you can feel like if you're just a little bit indirect, then your opponent doesn't know what to do. But if yeah, like rook d8. Okay, so now I'm going to go knight d5, and I'm not sure that the rook on d8 helps him. For one thing, he can't retreat his queen to d8. can't take with the knight because of the position of his queen at c7. He could take with the bishop. Okay, so he goes queen d7. But now I think I add some pressure here with bishop g5. Yeah, and the bishop on c6 is just unfortunate position. He can never really take with the knight on d5. So he could take with the bishop. But now I get some nice play on the e-file, on the backward pawn. h6. My work here is done. I retreat. And maybe I should have gone to e3. But maybe I'll just keep the e-file open. Keep pressure on e7. I'll lock that down. I said I'll lock that down. Commencing lockdown. I said I locked it down. Did I not say that I locked that down? Well, Zealand is running out of time, and I think he missed rook b6, bishop a5, which is what he's thinking about now. But I did say I had it locked down, didn't I? I said it. Well, sometimes you can get, like a little bit of compensation because of the, missing bishop. I think I'll just park over here. Knight g4. Should I pin? Ooh. All right. That was very desperate. Well, I guess he had to answer to the pin, but now everything falls. He's out of time. Thank you, Zealand. All right. I always make a note to myself that I'm going to keep a running total of how many games I've played, but I never do. Here we go. Kazan, you're up. Yo, Kazan. Your move again. Ooh. Oh, not Smith-Mora. Interesting. A man who goes his own way in the opening. I'm not sure I can recommend it. Next move, maybe I'll play Queen A5. I'm not really too concerned about him taking an F6. I'd love to get that dark square bishop Try to hurt him on the dark squares. Ooh. I mean, you can never play a move like F3 when you're behind in development. It's just not. It's not happening. Well, I was going to play Queen A5, but maybe I'll just play D5. Just come through the middle. Okay. Just kind of want to see where he goes. Well, now I've got some shots, maybe. Bishops before knights. It's not how usually you want to do it. Check. When I check, I fear no one. I take that. I think this one's worked out pretty well. Run away. I kind of feel like I should play D4 in this position, but I just want to see what he's going to do when he can't castle. Put my bishop on A6. Well, Kazan's going to have to pick up the pace if he doesn't want to run out of time. Oh, he's just not moving. I wonder what that is, I don't think he'd want to resign. Is it like some kind of technical problem? I don't know. Well, anyway, thanks for the game, Kazan. And see my old friend Ears is in the queue. But first, Mish Bobby again. Mish Bobby, did I have white out? Black. I hope I had black against him. It seemed would be only fair to switch colors. It's interesting. Everybody seems to want to play C5 against C4. So got one of these again. So why H3? Well, it's because I wanted to go here. Because the fianchetto, it's not always really the right thing to do to put the bishop on the long diagonal. It's usually kind of happy on e3, pointing at the queen side. So I could put my pawn on e4, but anyway, it's another position where I think the queen is going to be uncomfortable on c7 because this knight d5 is always in the air, and the queen just isn't really happy. Uh-huh. Well, it's almost instant replay. Had something very similar. I could play knight d5, and this queen comes to e5. Bothers me a little bit. All right, I'm going to play e4. Threat is stronger than the execution. d8. I don't really see that leading to anything. He's not opening up the d file. All right, I'm about ready to jump in now, I think. He could try e6 to prevent knight d5, but of course then he's a little loose in the center there. Okay. Well, definitely jumping in now, and we'll sort the rest out later. I think most amateurs want to recapture with the c pawn, but usually the grandmaster way is to capture with the e pawn and pressure the e7 pawn, because you take with the c pawn very often you have a lot of exchanges on the c file. And this also seems kind of gives white like a functional advantage of on the queen side, pawns on the queen side. Thinking about h4 at some point. Well, this kind of plays into my hands. I mean, really should put the knight on d7. But the thing is that low-rated players tend not to understand there's a lot of positions where you want to trade the dark square bishop. You want to trade the bishop in front of your king. They just don't get that. They don't learn it from wherever. But you see it in the accelerated dragon. There's all these variations where black moves the knight to trade, and in the Maroczy bind, and very often white just moves the bishop away and doesn't trade. But I think the knight really wanted to go to d7. So, I mean, I could load up on the queen side, but I kind of like the idea of doubling on the e file, kind of clamping on the queen side and maybe looking for an attack on the other side. All right, knight h5. But I don't know. I think already, even with the bishop trade, he's going to be very uncomfortable on the king side. But yeah, I think I'll just do that. e6. Well, I don't think that's really going to help because it's got to have a lot of pawn islands. That b7 looks like a juicy weakness. Looks juicy. Maybe just slow play this a little bit. I'm getting a little low on time here. All right. Like h4. That pawn isn't hanging. I can play h5 sometimes. All right. Go back. Run away. Okay. Take. Good. Oh boy, I got to pick up the pace a little bit. Where'd all my time go? There's some games when, I mean, obviously I'm bantering, but sometimes I just don't know where the time goes. So I got to pick up the pace. I have some ideas of bishop h3. Take. Am I cashing in too fast? Oh, I think that was a slip, but I'll take it. You're welcome. I think maybe he meant to do something else there, but I think I had things under control, just about. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I've done that too. Ears. What has Ears got for me? He always finds a way to out-weird me. But today I'm not doing weird. I'm just playing I'm just playing c5 and c4 in the first move. All right. Okay. Grab some space. You should be happy to hear that I'm going to visit Canada soon, although just barely. He said, "Congrats on the old people thing." He even has my sense of humor there. My family's going to take a little trip to Niagara Falls, a little car trip. So, but I don't know. I'm not sure if I've been there or I've been on the Canadian side. I don't know, but should be fun. We played Canada in the last round of the old people thing too. They had a very respectable result. Okay. Well, I guess this d4 pawn is sort of hanging. And maybe I should not leave it hanging. So I guess I'll go here to defend it. It's nice in that area. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm looking forward to a little family vacation. We're going to also visit Cooperstown, which I probably my dad took me there years ago, but I have not been as an adult. A4, what was that about though? Doesn't that pawn want to be on A3? Did he want to stop B5? I don't know. Maybe this knight can do something over there. I like having that's free square. So a little tickle threat, 92, and I probably should be trying to open the position with all this development I have. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I could provoke e4, but I think that with the knight on b4, maybe I should open this and keep some pressure on d3 and See if he's really going to be able to develop smoothly. Ooh, I don't think you got time for that. I don't think you got time for that. Oops. I didn't have enough room there almost. Sometimes I don't have enough room for my mouse to move. The piece can go to unexpected places. Maybe what happened to Mish Bobby. I think one way or another he's going to have to play e4. But might survive. Yeah, I'm glad I took on e3 and didn't play lazy closed position. I told you got to play e4. I mean, I don't see any other way. Well, you could defend. Oh. Yes, but no. Yes, but no. Um, hmm. Okay, I'll just attack it again. And now I'll take it with my knight. And you don't even get to castle. I'm sorry. It's not very nice of me. But I'm old. I'm cantankerous. Push it in. And something to e5 maybe. Something to e5. Oh, well, I don't think he really processed that move there. Ears. Thank you. Thank you as always. A pleasure. And we've got interposed check. Oh, f5. Combative. All right, let's have some fun here. Spike it up. Okay, all right. Took us. Queen a d7. All right, let's try this. It's a potentially discombobulating attack. Now I have a choice. I could take back. What happens if I take on b7? It's a little complicated. Well, actually, it's a simple move, queen c6, which doesn't look that bad. But otherwise, knight c6 is possible. So Maybe that's a good move. Possibly I should have played queen b3 after taking. All right, I'm going to recapture. Interesting. Feel like, what am I missing here? Because does he have a way to protect his rook? I don't think he does, and if he doesn't, it's not castling fast enough, I don't think. I mean, if he got the castle and defend b8, but he doesn't have time for that. So I don't see what the next move is. I think he should have played knight c6. Unclear position. Maybe objectively good for me because I might win the e4 pawn in a few moves. But now I'm going to get that rook, and then I'm going to be up an exchange and maybe a pawn or two. Looking good. Maybe I'll watch this on TV tomorrow. ICC TV is cool. I think he's regretting his last move. He's been thinking a long time on this move and is about to run out of time. But I see no way to save that rook. He disconnected. Complication. Really? Okay. I guess what happens? Oh, a new game. Okay. Mr. Jerkle. Mr. Jerkle. I don't know about that. Mr. Jerkle. All right. Are you ready, Mr. Jerkle? Gotta be ready for the bell. Mr. Jerkle. Or should that be Dr. Jerkle? Maybe this is his name. I don't know. I should be laughing. It could just be a name. What if, right? That's a shame. Perhaps another time. 11. Oh, Canada. Glorious and free. A6. Interesting. I play classically. My phone is blowing up here. Apparently, my wife lost power at her place of business, which was kind of surprising. All right. This week, my son is at chess camp, which makes me happy, but makes him happy too. And he's playing in an unrated tournament there, and he's won his first 2 games. So he's pretty excited. Now he's like, "Daddy, I want to join the USCF." Fine by me. All right, Bishop B7. He's waiting. I will wait too. At least for another move. And then, I don't know. Maybe G4. Throw that pawn up. Yep. I'll go for it. Well, it's a little bit of a problem for 11 because there's really no. I mean, he's running out of pieces. He can move to the second rank, so he just moved one to the pawn to the third. All right. Gotta get my mouse in room. There we go. Castles. Go for it. Yeah, 11's gonna have to pick up the pace as I've got a minute plus lead. D5. I was not expecting that. I took us. How you took us back? I don't know. And it probably makes sense to take it, but I like this E5 because now his knights have no squares. Ooh, castling. Wow. Castling queenside. All right, I can do that too. What am I going to do on the king side? I'm not too sure about. I could try to crack that too. Let's crack the king side for fun. Ooh. Really? Okay. I think something good should happen in there for me. And should do something. Okay. Let's just keep throwing things at you. Queen c7. Well, okay. I mean, that a6 pawn is hanging, and I may get to that. I kind of want to kill knight f5. And now maybe I'll take it. Oh, what'd you take? Okay. I think I got that covered. A little bit of a scare. Checkers. Thank you, 11. It's good to have participation from neighbors to the north. All right. Draconian. Lay it on me. Always have been afraid to play the knight orf, and I keep telling myself everybody plays the knight orf. I should try to play the knight orf. So there. Bishop d3. Out of book. I'm out of book. All right. I'm out of book. Maybe I should have played queen c5 or queen b6. Yeah. So hard to know. All right. I'll try one of these. Oh, he's frozen. Another one. Oh, I think he's ready to come back. Do 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 do. Yeah, it looks like it's probably not really a great position for g5. Oh, interposed check. Okay, so he's in now. So I get, it's well, you disconnect. That might be the end for you. All right, so let's try a Benko Gambit. Haven't played one of these in a while. Okay. Nice c3. All right, got to chase your way then. Interesting. Oh, wow. I was in the impression that b3 was a prelude to bishop b2. It's going to be a lot of moving of this knight. It's not going to be pretty. Maybe it's going to be pretty rough. Hmm. I don't know if I should have bothered with knight e4. Maybe I should have just, just castled and not try to directly exploit that weird situation there. F3. Okay. I don't know. I can. I was kind of playing for this check on c3, but it doesn't really do anything. Yeah, so I did not make all that much out of what I was given there, but I still have two bishops that could come into play later. Yeah, I really should have come out of this with an advantage, shouldn't I have? But I don't think that I did. All right. I'll just switch things up here. Bishop d2, a little bit of surprise. Okay. He's playing to trade off my bishop, but I just played e5, so it's now my bad bishop. But I also have queen h4 check as well. So I'm taking this in a different direction. Yeah, all right. Let's storm it. I got a lot of a lot of pawns on dark squares, right? H6 next move. All right. It's busting out with pawns everywhere. This interposed check is getting very low on the clock. Really? Yeah, maybe some kind of desperation type sacrifice. I don't think he's going to get a mating attack there. Who's zooming who? Now, a sneak attack from the other side. So I play A4. You never know when that's going to come in handy. Okay. Ah, no. Yes. Toches. Schoch. Now it's like all the rooks are hanging. It's like dominoes. You're welcome. Interpose check. Thank you for the game. Very interesting, unusual type of business. Oh, we're back to Draconian. All right. Yeah, I don't much like this position. Maybe he's put it on the computer while he's gone. No, I don't know. I don't know. This is a thematic sacrifice, but I don't think this is a particularly good version of it. Yeah. Okay, queen. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I can play this. Because I'd like to at least try to create a thread in there. Now we're getting somewhere. Well, I can win a pawn. I can take a pawn with queen h4 check, but I don't know if it's really that good a move. I kind of feel like it's not what I should do in the position. Even though it's cool. All right, I'll take the stupid pawn. Like I said, because it's cool. Or you can move your king if you want, but yeah, maybe I have a good end game here. Pawn islands. Yeah. Right. But can I jump in now? And looks like I'm going to win something. And then what happens? How easy is this ending? I have an extra pawn now, but it's kind of unusual placement of things. Pawn ending? Really? That can't be right. You don't go into pawn ending, you're pawn down. Did he miscount? Okay, it's Hard to believe that could be the right thing to do. I forgot that he hadn't played King D5. Yeah, just go and take everything. Okay. Just have to be paying attention. It's like checkers. Well, I got quite a lot of time here. There we go. All right, thanks, Draconian. That was an interesting game. That G5 probably wasn't completely sound in that position, but I felt like I got to try Nightorf. Like I'm the only player in the world who's never been a Nightorf player at any time. Probably played less than 5 Nightorfs in my whole life. It's really against the grain there. Alrighty. We need some new blood here. Wedge. That's kind of cool. Wedge. C6. All right. Oh, really? Not D5. Okay. A5. All right, let's try pushing. Let's see what that leads to. Unusual type of old Indian business. Well, let's see. He can. He can take on D4 and he gets the C5 square, but because he's maneuvered his knight around, he can't put a knight on C5, at least not for a while, so he can't really use that square. Or he could try to play C5 to barricade the position, but I don't have to play D5 in that case. Or he could just leave the pawns the way they are for now. I guess a lot to think about, which is why Wedge is thinking about it. Excuse me. Bishop g4. Okay, so he's attacking a defender of the d4 square. There's a certain logic to that. I have to agree. But on the other hand, now with the bishop on g4, he can't play knight g4, so I'll develop my bishop. Still take with a knight. You want to trade, you can trade. I'll be a merchant. Well, he wants some tricks here, take on g4, but I don't have to take on g4. I'm going to move the knight. I will move it here. You may take it if you like, otherwise it's very strong. And I'm looking to use some light squares. So I'm thinking about hitting with f4 and getting my bishop to f3. And wedge is getting dangerously low on time here. Yeah, maybe I'll go for this now because I kind of like the idea of being able to drive that knight away. Well, all right, let's push him up. And here my big idea is I want to do this and rook h1. That was what king g2 is for. Sneaky, huh? Sometimes I got it. I like this game. Wedge played the interesting game. Probably didn't do the probably taking in c5 was not the right way to go, but complicated middle game there. All right, thanks for the game, Wedge. Yeah, probably he could have tried f6. And then, of course, I'd have to win it a whole different way. But still, that H file is probably a problem for black. Hi, Mish Bobby. Take another shot. Why don't you? Or not. Yeah, there you are. All right. And this will be the finale. Can I stay unbeaten? This is all looking very familiar. I don't really think this is a great way for white to play the opening, but maybe Mish Bobby can find some misprovements. Waiting. Ah. I was almost pre-moving knight d7, but he took with the knight. Well, I guess that's a reasonable move too, to take with the knight. I should not have discounted it. All right, I'll go ahead with my pre-move. Uh-huh. This opening has worked out rather better for white than the last time we saw this. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I'm getting some pressure on the e4 pawn there. So if he takes, I could take with pawn at the knight, and then maybe take the pawn on e4. Not exactly sure that works out, but yeah, it looks like a plan. And if he, what else can he do? You can try to defend the pawn on e4 now, but move the bishop again. Oh, I can play knight d2, but that allows me to come into d3. I think he missed that. Oh wait, which way should I go? This way. I think that makes him take it. He's thinking it over. So he takes, take. Oh, rook f1. Oh, okay. I mean, I'm just going to take this for sure, because I can come out to c4, nothing to think about. That's a good pawn to eat. That. Oh no, 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 no. I'm sorry. That's not the way. It's not the way to end the week. Or the month's games. You're welcome. Well, yeah, okay, so one draw today. That was a very exciting game against a strong player who was kicking my butt, and then everything went crazy at the end. But otherwise, all wins for me. It's like I played this game before. Well, this was fun, as always. Yeah, it's a pleasure taking you guys on, and I look forward to trying to think of creative ways I can play these games to try to make them fresh. And now I've seen personally that it is fun to watch these videos. So even if you don't get to play, it's kind of fun to watch the videos, and maybe a little educational. I think that my son likes watching them, and he's learning a little bit about chess by doing it. So it's all good. All right, so that takes care of the month of July for us, and I look forward to seeing you guys at some date to be determined in the future in August for our little monthly get-together. All right, I'm Grandmaster Joel Benjamin. This has been ICC's Banter Blitz. Goodbye until next time.